We good? All right. Well, first of all, just I appreciate our fans. I mean, we had a great crowd here today, and it was awesome to see a bunch of orange when we first came out. I think that was great for our guys to see. And secondly, I just say, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's been a great week. I hope everyone's had a great Thanksgiving with your families. And before I talk about the game, I want to just mention Coach McKissick. I know we all know Coach McKissick passed away on Thanksgiving Day. What a fitting time for him to pass. Because I know there's thousands of people out there that are thankful that they had Coach McKissick in their life. And so just thoughts and prayers are with Coach McKissick's family. And Donnie McElveen played quarterback for me. That's his grandson. And I had the opportunity to get to know him over my last 17 years here in South Carolina. And just a class man. One of the most iconic human beings you could ever meet. And just special. So we're going to miss him. I know it was time. The good Lord called him home. I think he was 93. And I guess he coached till he was like 88 or something like that. 88, 89. And right there at Summerville High School. And so, I think first and foremost, just take time to thank him. When I first got the job here at Clemson as the head coach at 38 years old or 39, when I went to the clinic, my first clinic to speak, and Coach John McKissick was sitting in the front row taking notes from me. Like, what is he going to learn from me? And I just, that left such a lasting impression on me. That here he was, 80-something years old, and still passionate and eager to learn and to continue to grow. And that's why he had such an unbelievable career and such a fruitful life. So, this was a great day today, and really proud of our team. This was, this is an important game to everybody in the state. And I thought both teams, handled themselves with great competitiveness and class out there today. But proud of our guys to win 6 of these in a row. I don't think that's happened in 79 years or 80 years. That's a long time. So I'm just really proud of our team. And, some of the individual things that happened today were incredible. It was our 115th win this decade. I think only us, Alabama and Ohio State, have 115 wins in this decade. And we've played both of them this decade a few times. Pretty neat. And that hadn't happened since the 1890s, Penn and Yale. So I think that's a historic moment today, not just winning this game, but just for our program and what's transpired over this last decade. And a great day. And great for our conference. I know everybody says we don't play anybody, but I think we're 10-1 versus the SEC in our last 11. And we've played some pretty good teams. That seems to always be the storyline. Our program and our team takes pride in these type of games. We take pride in every single game. I'm just really proud of the group in that room in there, and all of our coaches. Offensively, 527 yards, 316 passing, 211 rushing. Trevor Lawrence, unbelievable. I think he tied an ACC record, 18 consecutive passes in a row. It's pretty incredible. Travis Etienne, I know he's not good enough to be a Doak Walker finalist. He's just not quite good enough for that. But he's the all-time ACC touchdown leader, and not done yet. He's scored more touchdowns than any player in the history of the ACC, rushing and total. But yet he's not quite good enough to be a finalist for some running back award. It's just unbelievable to me. But that's just kind of the way it is. People missed out on a beautiful career and missed out on a beautiful season for number 9. He's had one of the most dominant seasons I've ever seen from a player. Unbelievable what he's done this year. It's incredible. And so just really proud of him. And T. Higgins, we've had a lot of good players come through here, especially at receiver. He's the first receiver ever to have 10 touchdown receptions in 2 years in a row, back-to-back years. Hasn't happened. And man, just an awesome job by him. And Justin Ross had a career high 9 catches, 111 yards. And we had a lot of big plays from a lot of people. You know, DeAndre Overton had another big day for us. Amari, you know, he does some of the things. Sometimes it doesn't show up on the stat line, but so productive. Our offensive line did a great job. We gave up the 1 sack. We subbed and gave up the 1 sack there late. But man, I'm just really proud of those guys. Our offensive line especially. You know, because they're all of those things. The record for T, the record for Trevor, the record for ETN. That don't happen without a dominant offensive line. And so those guys have had a wonderful career, and just really proud of them. You know, we're 12-0 for the 4th time in the history of the school. Special teams, we did some good things today. We put Travis back there on kick return, and he made an instant impact. He's the best guy we got on the team with the ball in his hands, and we kind of felt like it was time to cut him loose, and he made an instant impact. We had some really good punts. Spires had a great day, pinned one, I think, on the 2, and then had another one down as well. And just a really good day. We were 1 of 2 on field goal. I think BT's now 3 of his last 4. It's good to see him make a 46-yarder today. So we've done some good things in all areas. We did have a couple penalties that we need to clean up, but I think the story is our defense. You know, I think everybody knew we were going to be good offensively this year, but defensively, that's 15 in a row that we've held the opponent to 20 or less, and that hadn't happened since 1937. So I'm not even sure they had the forward pass in 1937. Tim, can you tell me that?
They did.
Okay, good.
1906.
All right, well, I know Newt Rockney, or not Newt, what was his name? Newt Rockney, yeah, Newt Rockney came up with it, so I knew he'd know, but
Kind of.
you know, there wasn't a lot of forward passes probably in 1930, so that's incredible. It's incredible what our defense has done. And they held these guys to 174 total yards, 69 yards rushing. And so just a tremendous job by our defense. Big interception by DK, and that led to points. Probably the biggest thing we were disappointed with offensively was we didn't punch it in down there on the first drive. We had 3 shots at it and just wasn't clean, never got it in. That was probably the biggest disappointment of the game, at that and then the sack. But other than that, we really played a nice game on offense, especially taking care of the ball. And then defensively, we played a great game. We gave up the 1 big play. And they did get a little bit of run game going there in the second quarter to get the field goal. But just super proud of our team, and you know, we're a healthy team. Everybody came through it, you know, fine, in good shape there. So to be going into game 13 with a healthy team is a real blessing. It's something we're thankful for. But you know, we've been battling all year for this opportunity. And now here we are. We got a chance to get back to Charlotte and to play a really talented Virginia team, a team that's impressive. Super, just can't say enough great things about Bronco and the job he's done at Virginia. And just saw it. I've seen it coming. And you know, MB Tech, they had a great year as well this year. Justin did a great job, and that was a heck of a game. But we're honored to play Virginia in Charlotte and for our league. And, you know, we're not entitled to win, man. You got to earn it every single week. So we're excited about getting back to work. We're going to enjoy this one tonight and get back to work Monday. We're thankful that we get another week of football. Most everybody else is going to be done, but there's a few teams that get a chance to play for their league, and we don't ever take that for granted. So we're super excited about the opportunity and you know, having our best week. So again, appreciate our fans, appreciate you know, our team for how they fought. Great leadership, especially with this senior group. Any questions?
Dabo, how about Trevor on 3rd down, not just through the air, but also with his legs?
Yeah, I told him that. There was a point again, I walked over there and I told him, I just took my headset off and I said, man, it is so much fun to watch you play quarterback. Because he made a couple of decisions that, you know, the big 3rd down, the long run, they played a 4-man, which basically is like a 2-man concept. And that's a tough coverage, but the weakness is if you've got a quarterback that can run the ball. And, you know, but for him to just process it and to realize the situation and to not try to force a ball and to take off and run. And he bailed us out a couple other times too, you know, but that's what he can do. You know, we ran the option a few times today. I think we caught him off guard a little bit with some of our option checks. And He had a great run down there in the red zone to set up a score. So he doesn't get enough credit. He had a career high 66 yards rushing. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does with his legs, and that was the number one thing coming into this season for him to grow. He needed to be more productive with his legs, and again, not necessarily called runs, but productive in creating, third and fives, checking the ball down, extending plays. You saw him reset in the pocket on the long touchdown to T. Great protection, but sometimes on a play like that, it takes a little while to develop. His reset in the pocket, moving his feet. I mean, he's just done that all year long. And then some scrambling. I mean, he scrambled and made big plays. He scrambled and made first downs with his legs. And you saw that a couple times today. So he just, you look at him and you don't really think that because he's so tall and long, but he can run. And he's just really gotten a nice feel for when to run it, and he's done a great job of checking the ball down. He had some good check downs today. They played a lot of man coverage, and he found his back 2 or 3 times to keep us on schedule. So I just thought it was pretty special to watch him play quarterback today.
Coach Mike Jones had that big PBU to get a turnover on downs. How good was it to see those backups come in and keep him off the scoreboard?
It was awesome. That was a great play. We went for it on 4th down right there. That was a great play. Great for his confidence. He's a guy that's going to have to play a lot for us next year. He's had some big moments this year, but obviously with some guys moving on, he's going to have more opportunity, and he's a good player. And it was really exciting because his teammates were pumped. I mean, and they were like, "Hey, now that's a ball play right there." I mean, so to see him make a key play like that again is just shows his preparation, his readiness. And again, will be great for his confidence.
Yeah, but going back to the defense, the whole season holding teams under 300 yards. You ever seen that before?
No. I mean, it's unbelievable. What's that? 12 games in a row. Is that a record?
I think it's the stats they have. ESPN has back to 1996, and nobody's done it since 1996.
It's just incredible. And again, I was just barely out of playing in 1996. And trust me, the offense has changed since then. And so it's amazing. And again, it speaks to, number one, to the preparation that we have defensively, Coach V and our staff, unbelievable job. But also to what we talked about in our very first meeting in August was the back seven. They're just so rarely out of place. And they just have done a phenomenal job of allowing the guys up front. They've taken a lot of pressure off those guys up front and allowed them to just play and become good players. I mean, you can be great and dominant up front, but if you got guys running wide open on the back end, you can get exposed quick. But we've just been so sound and so prepared week in and week out with that back seven. It's put a lot of strain. And then we're talented up front. We're obviously inexperienced coming into the season, and they've just gotten better and better all year. But our defense has been incredibly consistent. I mean, they're ahead of where we were last year. Ahead of us statistically and just more consistent. I think this time last year we were like 70th in the country in plays of 20 yards or more. And I think we're like 4th in the country. So that again speaks to the detail of our back seven. And so just super proud of what we've done all year long. And again, we're not done. We got more to do. We got no program's ever won 5 conference championship games in a row, ever. We tied Florida last year. And so, man, we got it. This team has some unique opportunities in front of it. And so, obviously, not only doing that, but we find a way to win the game. We got a chance to, hopefully get back in the playoff. I don't know if anybody thinks we're a good team or not, but hopefully we can get back on the Roy bus and go to some playoff spot and see if they let us play for it again.
Yeah, but you mentioned the crowd. Did it feel different coming down here with so much orange in the crowd today?
Yeah, it was. They always have a great crowd here, and I thought most of them. I mean, they had a lot of people stayed too. I know the game kind of got out of hand, but I thought their fans were great. They stayed, supported their team to the end. A lot of people did, but it was great. Coming through the tunnel there, and all of a sudden there was just a lot of orange in that upper deck behind us and over on our side. And so I really appreciate our fans making an effort to try to get here.
Was this Justin Ross's best game of the season, and kind of found another gear as a postseason year?
I mean, he's been great all year. He's just kind of doing what he's doing, and you know, just situation of the game. We did some good stuff, and we had that 2-minute drive was excellent at the end, and we all the way down to setting up our clock play to where we could clock it and kick a field goal. He had you know 2 or 3 really nice plays in that, but he's been really steady. What a great play on the touchdown! Wow, just an incredible play. But he's just been steady, you know. He's just become very consistent, and I think all of those guys are playing at a high level for us. I mean, I think the guy right now that's really made a difference for us is Overton. I mean, he's just kind of sneaky, you know. You just kind of forget about him, and he's made some big plays on third downs. He had a couple big plays on the 2-minute drive there, or the minute drive, whatever it was, minute 18. So I think all of them are really, you know, making some good plays for us, and Justin's just kind of more of the same. You know, he did have a record today as far as 9 catches, but he's kind of been that guy all year.
Was the mismatch of your receivers against their defensive back something you emphasized all week? And noticed after the first drive you passed a lot more than you ran. Was that something that you already kind of had cooked up, or was it an adjustment after not punching it in?
You know, listen, I think they've got 2 great corners. I mean, I think those guys are great players. In fact, I told one, I went over, we just had a kind of a timeout. I was like, man, you're as good a player as I've seen. He's a really good football player, and does a great job at 24. I mean, he's massive. He's about as long a corner as you're going to see. I think they're good players. I think they've got good safeties, good secondary. They're well coached on defense. It wasn't necessarily, we just kind of do what we do. You know, we just run our offense. You know, it wasn't it's not like we came in and go, oh man, those guys are not good in the secondary. No, they're pretty good. We just trying to give our guys the opportunity to be successful and make sure our quarterback's equipped with the tools he needs and the decisions, and then we let him play. You know, and at the end of the day, you're either good enough or you're not.
Did they devote? I'm sorry. Were they devoting more of their numbers to stopping?
Played a lot of one safety, but that's kind of who they've been. You know, they did play, like I said, on that first big third down that Trevor had. They went to a little 4-man, 2-man concept there, and that hurt them. And they didn't do a whole lot of that anymore after that. Played a lot of one safety. They did mix in some 3 deep and a little bit of 2 deep here and there, but it was mostly. I mean, we knew that coming in. They're pretty much a cover 1, cover 3 type team, and trying to get numbers in to stop the run. And that's why I was really proud of the fact that we were still able to run the ball for 211 yards, because they pride themselves on being able to stop the run. So we've got to give our backs a lot of credit. We got to give that group up front, those guys blocking on the second level.
You mentioned that back 7.
We've got players and coordinators started outside for anybody who wants to step up here.
You mentioned that back 7 as one of the big reasons this year. One of the question marks coming in that back 7 was Darion Kendrick. What about how vital his development been, and what have you seen this year? You know, what he's done proved to you this show's team.
Well, he's just allowed us to not miss a beat. You know, I went up to New York last week and watched Trayvon Mullen play for the Raiders. So, you know. We went to dinner last Saturday night, and we actually talked about DK and how he's representing that number 1 that Trayvon won. So it just allowed us to really, again, not miss a beat, because he's a baller. I mean, he is the epitome of football player. You know, if you just kind of look up in the dictionary, football player, DK's picture is going to be there, because he's just one of those guys that can play the game and can play multiple positions. I mean, he's just a very talented young man. He brings great energy. He brings an edge. He's got really good instincts for the game, and a lot of that, he's played quarterback most of his life, so he just knows the game. And he's just been easy to coach and plays with a lot of confidence. And as he's developed now, you know, I mean, he was almost like a true freshman again this year at a new position, but now he's played 12 games, and I think what he sees in practice every day, you know, going against Trevor Lawrence and Chase and all those receivers, that has sped up his growth. And so he's really solidified us, and it's allowed us to develop Mario. I think Mario's a really good player. I think Mario is a very talented player. And Sheridan, Booth, those guys have been able to kind of come in and just kind of learn and develop, and not have to play too much before they're ready. And that's a big credit to DK.
Do you have enough update on Carmen?
He's all right.
Good.
Yeah, he's fine.
Dabo, you got 600 wins in a row after the 5 losses in a row. You talk about championships, both the national and the conference. How important is this game in the scheme of things in 2019 football?
How important is this game?
Yes.
It's huge. I mean, it's huge from a national standpoint because obviously, if we lose this game, they're gonna kick us out. They don't want us in there anyway. We'd drop to 20. Georgia loses to this very same team, and the very next day, it's how do we keep Georgia in it? We win to the team that beat South Carolina, and it's how do we get Clemson out? It's the dadgum mistake. So it's big because they can't vote us out. We gotta go under. We gotta go 30-0. We got no choice. But we don't play nobody. So it's big from a national standpoint, but it's huge for this state, and it's huge for our program. And yeah, we lost 5 in a row, and a big part of that, we were 15 turnovers to their 3 in that 5-game stretch. And we were, a couple of those years I thought we had the better team. A couple of those years they had the better team, and maybe even on another year, but we had 15 turnovers to their 3. Well, you get your butt beat. Well, we've turned that around. We've either been even or we've won the margin. And so in championship games, rivalry games, it's huge. You look at the game yesterday in Virginia Tech. I think V-Tech had 4 turnovers to Virginia's 1. So it's hard to win games when you don't take care of the football. And so, and they were great. They had some really, really good teams that could really take advantage of those opportunities. And they were a part of creating them too. So, hey, it is what it is. That was a tough stretch for us, but we were still a really good team. We were winning BCS bowls, we were winning ACC championship, we were winning 11 games, but we just would get in this game and not take care of the ball.
Dabo, how much has that fueled your team? You think that there seems to be that double standard about the way you guys are judged versus others?
I don't have to really do much to get them motivated every week. They live in this world, so it's just kind of every single week. It's been that way all year long. Some guy said the other day on the radio, said, well, y'all are pre-North Carolina. I'm like, what game season have you watched? Because it's like you want me to agree with that. We're the same team. We've dominated 11 out of 12 games. Dominated. We're not any different. There's no pre-North Carolina. We just had one close game where we stunk. We turned it over. We gave up big play. We just didn't do it, but we won. We won. And but there's nobody been more consistent than us. We've been unbelievably consistent. Again, our league doesn't get the credit. Maybe we need some of them ACC guys on some of them big network shows that they have. None of them from the ACC. Maybe we ought to put the Ray on there. But all I can tell you is we 10-1 versus the SEC in our last 11. And we've won 115 games this decade. So is Ohio State, so is Alabama. And we've played both of them. And our program is what people don't focus on. And let me tell you, Virginia, they'd be 9-3 in any league. V-Tech, they'd be whatever they are, 8-4 in any league. Wake Forest, they'd be 8-3 or what are they? I don't even know. They play today?
They got a chance to be 8-4.
Yeah. There's a lot of good football teams in this league. But people just don't pay attention. But at the end of the day, it's not my job to build a good league. It's my job to build a good program. And I think we've done a nice job of that for a long time. So this team has gone 12-0, 124 years of Clemson football, and it's the 4th time ever. 1981, 2015, 2018, 2019. It's hard to do, and there's only 3 undefeated teams in America. So if it was easy to be undefeated, how come there's not more than 3? Because there's not, there's some other weak leagues, as people say. How come they ain't undefeated? Y'all getting some good footage today, aren't you? That's great.
Riveting, Coach.
Riveting post-game press conference.
You mentioned the program part. Is that the part that bothers you the most, the track record that you guys have established?
Yeah. I mean, it's just it is what it is. But hey, all aboard the Roy bus. We just want to see. We're ready to go wherever we can go. But you got to take one step at a time. And we're not entitled to win. We never go. We don't even think that way. We start over every week. We have a very humble spirit to our team. It takes a lot of humility to prepare every week. It takes a lot of humility to prepare every single week. Because you got to go earn it. And our guys have that mindset, and our staff does a wonderful job. So I'm excited, man. I mean, I can't say enough about this team. I mean, it's just incredible what I've been able to witness. And we've won 27 games in a row. I mean, it's like just unbelievable. The hardest thing to do is to consistently win. And this group gets so excited every week to have a chance to go win again. And that is a special, special characteristic. So I have no idea. I mean, I know we're good enough to win it all, but can we go do it? Do we have the courage to do it? Can we stay focused? Can we finish? We'll see. There's other good teams out there, but we definitely are a team that has earned the right to play for this championship, and we've got to earn the right by winning this championship for anything else after that. So it's going to start with having a great week of practice and just tremendous amount of respect for Virginia and what they've accomplished this year, and what we're going to have to do to try to win in Charlotte.
We're going to wrap it up with that.
Okay.